It must be now 5 years that Siva have been sponsoring with me and the dogs, and for me it's very important because the animal welfare is so important, and especially with the dogs in this kind of work. So it's nice to have them as sponsors to show others who wants to work with this that it's important to always look at the animals' welfare. So in this session we are doing agility. And we are doing that because it's very good for people to concentrate and also learn more about themselves. I'm telling them how to give the treat and make them comfortable with that in this session. People I work with to feel that it's okay. If it doesn't work for the first time, just try again and it will work okay again. They can go to the sign and see what the dogs are supposed to do, and if they can read, we ask them to read. And if they can't read, I'm in this session telling them to look at the picture so they can see what the dogs should do, and then I'm asking them to say, give the command, and the dog will do it. In this session you will meet Kim, and he will work a lot with Busker because Busker is his favorite dog. And they have a very strong attachment to each other. And this is a place where I work full-time, and it's a home for people with alcoholic problems, and they are all addicted to it. Kim, he wants to meet the dogs actually every day, and even if sometimes he doesn't even have money for food, but he is so attached to the dogs, so he rather buy them treats than food for himself, which is a very nice thing to see actually. While sometimes with Busker, if he's having a bad day, he comes to me and he just wants to meet Busker. And Busker, he senses it if he's having a bad day, this person, Kim, and he will give him the comfort that he needs. And sometimes I'll just sort of back off and let them cry together. And not together, Busker doesn't cry, but Kim, he will cry. And it also makes me feel very secure that Kim has this relation with me, that he is feeling safe, that he can show those emotions in front of me. Kim sees that the dogs are very, very happy when they are running free, and he likes that feeling. And I think it's also a feeling of himself. So in this session they are playing frisbee and a lot of laughing and a lot of treats. Now we are in a place called Deras, and it's a place for people born with brain damage. And they are on a very high level, which means that they can actually do more or less like a normal work. And in this session now with the dogs, we are making them comfortable with being on the stage alone, one at a time, and doing something together with the dogs, which is a great way of doing it because they feel that the attention actually goes to the dogs also. And also sometimes I'm using myself, doing a performance myself to show that I dare to do it, and it's just fun. And the games that you are using for the dogs is also a very good game for the elderly because they can remember how many of these treats we have hidden. And we can also say, should we hide the treats in every little hole that you can hide the treats in or not, and then they can decide. And as I go in this session, I can also see who in the group who cannot put these little bricks inside, and then I just help them as good as I can. Then they are allowed to then tell the dogs to go and find the treats, and we encourage dogs together and say that they are very good dogs and all that, and yeah, talking about that the whole time. So now we are in a primary school, and I have been working with these kids for 2 years, and we are following the Swedish law, not law, but yeah, what the kids should learn. And today the subject is geography, and we will work with north, south, east and west. And through that we are using the dogs, so they will do some tracking with the dogs in those different directions, and to make it a fun exercise, and they will then do the tracks with the dogs in those different directions. And we're also gonna do some tricks with the dogs, also that they are giving them little missions to do tricks in those different directions also, to make it as fun as possible, but still that they will learn from it. In Sweden, it's becoming more and more common to work with the dogs in school, especially what's called reading dogs. But we do it in a different way a little bit, because we are using it with all the subjects, not only the reading. So we have done it with mathematics and English and Swedish and now this geographic. And we also had some immigrants in the class, and still have today when we're going to do it. And in the beginning they could not understand Swedish, but it was much more easy to use the dogs because you could really, by hand signals and that, showing the kids what we wanted them to do. And that was fun. So when you do a schedule, you always have to see that they have a lot of time that they don't do anything. And I put in walks where they have no patience at all in the walks, so they can be totally free and just run around, which is very important for them. Because when we are in the sessions, they are always looking at me and sort of wondering when it's their time to do the things. And we use, of course, then in advance adaptil, so they all have the collars on them, because I want them to be prepared for all the different people that they meet and also the different areas that we go into. Training him to be very calm, because it's one of the most important things when you have these type of dogs, that they must be able to relax when you are in different working areas. And I also actually using the 3 other dogs to make him realize that that's the way it should be done. So I can tell that he's looking at the others and he sees that they are relaxed, and then he's also more relaxed. So I'm trying to teach him that not use his voice as much. So it will be rewarding if he's quiet, and then he gets the treat. I think it's just like what we're doing now, to show people what it really is about. That it's so much more than just a dog coming in and just go for a walk or things like that. Because it's so much more. You get closer with the humans emotional. They get attached and they open up, and you can use them. You can use the dog in so many ways.